Hi everyone, this is Mark from Osmio here, and I'm making a series of videos starting with this one. It's all to do with food. The reason for it is because food production, or making our own food, I think is really important, because there's a number of issues with the food that we can buy in the supermarket. So these are the issues that I have with it. Firstly, there's the soil. Like the soil doesn't have the nutrition that it should have. So when food is grown for money, it's just knocked out. See, in the beds we compost, and we actually live by a country park, so there's a lot of compost on the side of the road that's actually gone into this bed here. And if I dig that up, you can see a lot of pink worms, and we've actually just put some potatoes down now. So, the minerals in that soil, because it's in a country park, there's no agricultural chemicals or anything like that in there. So I know I've put the potatoes down in there. That's gonna have a lot of mineral, and there's gonna be no pesticide or anything like that. Obviously, you're gonna have slugs and caterpillars and stuff. So we've learned our lesson from last year and put some of this around the beds. Now we're going to do that with all of them, and we're going to cover our cabbage, which, as you can see, has been munched. Next time, just cover it in netting so the caterpillars and whatever don't eat it. So anyway, so the other thing, yeah. So the issue is the soil. The second thing is what is sprayed on it to get rid of bugs, right? So even if something's labeled organic, there's organic pesticides and fertilizers that can be used. That's why there's something called biodynamic, right? That leads me on to the third issue, which is to do with the seed. So just because something is labeled organic doesn't mean that it's actually natural, like to do with the actual seed, because as you might know, a lot of our food we buy is seedless. Which means it's been hormonally, genetically modified to be infertile, to not produce a seed. Now, why is that significant? Because the seed in our food is actually contains the things that fight parasites and antimicrobial and all this kind of thing, right? So if we buy seedless fruits, seedless vegetables, and that's what's being genetically modified, that's the fake food we can buy in the supermarket, we're not getting the seed, and the seed contains all the nutrition, minerals, everything. It's like the life force. The seed is life, literally. So if the food is devoid of the seed, right, I question whether that contributes to such rampant infertility that is what is going on now, right? So like, collecting your own seeds and storing them is vital. So that's one thing, right? So getting your own soil, collecting and harvesting your own seeds, storing them. Now, putting them down at the right time really depends on moon cycles. So, for example, there are supposedly better times to put flowering and leafy and root vegetables down at different moon cycles. So, for example, on Sunday we're going to put down some root vegetables. There's a full moon. That's to do with like how the moon's gravitational pull affects how the seed uptakes moisture and develops. So we know sort of geometrically, when you look at the food, it's better to put it on at those times, So obviously we're kind of coming into spring now, but it's still really cold. It's like 1 degree at night time. So the other thing to do is like microgreens. So right now we've got a couple of trays of microgreens down, which are covered because they need to be covered for a few days. After that, they're going to go under these blue-red LED lights. And this kind of, you can do this anywhere really, as many as you want. And that's the way we do it, is just with a small layer of the topsoil. because they don't come out very good if you just use a coconut mat or hemp mat. You need to put some mineral into these microgreens as well. So I'm going to keep, this is the start of a many series of videos I want to make about growing food, to share as much as I can and what I can pick up about how to do that successfully, in order to get through a whole season, and then later on how to store that food and so on and so forth, so that we can start doing that, avoiding buying any plastic packaging, packaged fake food from the supermarket. And if you follow people like George Soros and Bill Gates, and they're telling the world like a year ago or something that there's going to be a food crisis, so like they did with other things like coronavirus, then you can be sure that that's going to happen. So it's best to equip oneself as best as one can to do your own food. So next step is like put some more beds down, do some more indoors, build a greenhouse, get some chickens, and I'm going to be blogging all of that on video to share it with everyone. So yeah, hope you enjoy, and do share your tips as well, because we're only in our second season of growing, so could use a bit of help. And thank you so much.